Hey guys, welcome and good morning. Cyndi Williams here, the Wanderlust CEO. I have my good friend and client here, Marie from Triple Little Light Travel. Marie, how are you this morning?
Doing really well. How are you?
Well, I hear congratulations are in order because you just graduated Careers on
Did, yes.
Vacation. I'm so excited for you. Are you so excited after this journey?
It's been long but good. I'm very excited.
You've done so much work in such a short amount of time. I really commend you. Talk to us, if you would, about where your business was before doing Careers on Vacation and where you are today.
Well, the business was nowhere before. I'm literally just starting out. So, and it was kind of crazy. With 2020, 2021, it was what a year. But we moved from Cleveland, Ohio to Charlotte, North Carolina. And my kids are getting older, and I decided it was time to go back to work. And I went and thought long and hard about what I could do and what I'd love to do because I didn't want to do anything that I didn't enjoy. And the thing that kept coming up and coming up was travel. And everyone told me, you're crazy. You're crazy to try to start a travel business during this time. And I said, well, if I can do it during this time, I can do it anytime.
And there's the attitude of someone who will not be told no about their dreams. I love
No.
that.
So I just started building and I started looking for where I could get the information to start. And I wanted to start as soon as possible. And I kept looking and I kept looking and I'm like, oh my goodness, there's so much out there, but I don't even know where to start. And then I found you and I found your YouTube channel and it made everything a breeze. So I just scheduled the call and I'm like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. I talked to my husband and he's like, well, I'm like, I've made career changes in the past. I'm not immune to that. I know how to do it. I'm like, as long as I put all my effort in, it's gonna work. And we agreed, and it's been fabulous.
I love that. Yeah. And it's so funny now because last year, all of our students who took the program when the stuff was at its bleakest, right? Like you couldn't even book travel. It was shut down. And we had our biggest year ever because people said, I'm going to use this time to build it and do the thing. And it's totally scary, especially I think less scary where you're at now, but still some people are hesitant. But what people don't realize, I think, is, and what you're obviously seeing now, already getting leads and doing all of those pieces, but is people need travel agents more than they ever have in the past. I've had an amazing career for 27 plus years and been teaching people how to do this for many, many years. But the thing that we didn't expect coming out of the pandemic was that because travel's more complicated, everybody is going in droves to travel agents. So that's a beautiful win where I think those naysayers, you can go back and go, well, actually, let me tell you what's happening right now. What do you feel like has been your biggest win or celebration since taking the program?
Well, my biggest win is probably something that everyone think would be crazy. And it was just after putting all my marketing and everything out there, someone contacted me that I didn't even know.
No, that's so important because so many people build hobby businesses, right? And they're like, I'm going to build it on friends and family, but you know you are a real business when someone responded and you get that first lead from using a marketing strategy that we teach you in the program, right?
Yes, that is the biggest thing. It's like, oh, who is this person?
I love that. I love that. To walk me back to the beginning, you've kind of hinted at it already, but did you have any challenges before starting? Like once you found us on YouTube or, found us in all those different places and you're like, I know I want to do this. I'm seeing all this information everywhere about how do I get in the industry. Any challenges that did you have to overcome personally before you started working with us?
I think it was just the mindset of you can do this. Now, I mean, like I've said, I hinted at, I've changed careers before. I actually graduated from law school in 2000 and I practiced law for 5 to 6 years. And my husband and I were traveling a ton and we're like, we're not going to be able to have a family. This just isn't going to work for us.
Yeah.
So we're like, well, what can we do? And he was established already. He'd worked in his company longer than I'd worked. And I'm like, well, it's easier for me to change than it is for him to pivot. So I pivoted and I became a nurse. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And that was totally out of what I was doing, obviously. So I went to school during the day and I worked full-time nights at a hospital just to get the experience.
Yeah.
And it worked out fabulous. I mean, I was a nurse for almost 10 years. I worked nights. I raised my kids. And then another thing happens. My husband's goals and his business was like booming where he was working. And they're like, you need to travel full time. And I'm like, well, I'm paying a ton for babysitting at this point in time. It just doesn't make any sense. So I became a stay-at-home mom, and I was a stay-at-home mom for probably 4 to 5 years. And it worked out actually a blessing in disguise because we found out my youngest son was autistic and he was on the spectrum. And we probably would have never known it because he was so high functioning.
Yeah.
But me coming home and starting to homeschool them and working one-on-one, we found out that, this is what it is. And it's just a stepping stone and we make it work and we change. So we've done this. He's now 11 and he's out of therapy. He's thriving. He's playing travel hockey. So now is the time. Well, I have a 13-year-old, soon to be 13-year-old, 11-year-old. I'm 45, almost 46 now. I'm like, my life is not over. I have to do something. When they come out of the house, I'm not gonna just not do anything. So I'm like, what can I do that's from home that I love and that I can build for myself that it keeps going when they're gone? And I'm like, we love to travel. We've always traveled. We're a Disney family, as you can tell by the name of the business. So I'm like, well, let's turn a passion into a business. And that's where we got.
I love it. That's so amazing. So you are no stranger to pivoting and making changes, which
Nope.
does make it, I feel like, a little bit easier. You've worked through those, you're like, look, I did this in the past. It's if you know how to do those hard things, and kudos to you for, taking that time as a mom to spend with your kids, because that's the time we don't get back. And I feel like that's a powerful thing as you consider, okay, what is my next chapter? Never did you say, oh, I want to go back to corporate. I want to go back to nursing. I want to go back to being a lawyer. You're like, no, what can I do where I can have that balance of family and travel? And like you said, the kids are getting older. They're a little more self-sufficient. That's the ages my kids are getting to now too. And I'm like, okay, I can sneak away for a weekend. I can go here. I can travel there. But never would I go back into that world of like where someone else dictate your schedule. I feel like my husband always says, once you're a pickle, you can't go back to being a cucumber. I don't know where that comes from. I think it's a silly saying, but it's so true. Like once you have that where you see your kids every day and you see them off to school, like that's a powerful thing, but you still can pull that value and feel good about what you do every day as a mom, as a boss, as a, whatever you want to create. And you've decided to really own your travel business at this point, which is so exciting. Marie, what would you say to that person who's out there and they're on the fence? They're looking at the same crap you were looking at, right? Like, oh my gosh, there's a bazillion different people telling me a bazillion different things. Who do I believe? What do I do? And they're on the fence about starting with Careers on Vacation. What would you say to that person?
First, schedule the call. I mean, there is no harm in scheduling the call. And I think that was my biggest worry is, should I schedule this call? Should I not schedule this call? And, you always worry that there's going to be pressure or, that you're going to have to commit on the spot. And it's not that way. Just make the call, because that is the step. Once you make the call and you say, I want to do this, nothing's going to stop you. And whether it's Careers on Vacation or something else, which I don't know why you pick something else, but that is the hardest step, and I even think after I did this, the hardest step after that was, telling people you've done this. But once you've done it and you come out there, you can't put, like they say, you can't put it back in the bottle. You're out there, you've done it, you've said you're going to do it, and now you have to make it work. So just schedule the call.
I love it. Yeah. And guys, our discovery call process, it's really just more about learning about your goals and seeing if it's a match to work together. As Marie can attest to, our program is full. So we only have a few invitations we can extend every single month anyway. It really is just part of our advocacy work in the industry to understand, where are you at? Is it a match to work together? And if we have a spot or wait list, if it is a match to work together, we can talk to you about that as well. So guys, if you don't know already about the Careers on Vacation program, this is our 12-week mastermind. This is the program that Marie just graduated from. Not only do you get our online curriculum, all of those goodies, so you can do it on your schedule. Like Marie's a mom, she's got stuff going on. You can do it on your schedule, but you get to work with real humans. And I feel like this is the powerful piece of our program. The same team that got my business to multiple 6 figures a month, 7 figures a year, is the same team that you get to work with in this program. So that's really powerful. It's not a set it and forget it program. It's not a, I'm going to put it on, it's going to be on my desktop and just sit there getting dust. No, like we help you every step of the way. As you learn this section, then okay, let's implement it. We always say it's a learn while you earn program. That's why Marie's already getting leads before she's even graduated the program, which is a beautiful thing. So go to careersonvacation.com/ready now and schedule that complimentary call. And Marie, anything else you would like to say to our audience out there about your experience with Careers on Vacation?
It was wonderful. And I think the biggest thing is the coaching. Like it was, Evie was my coach and she was the most fabulous person. She's there. She was able to answer the questions that I'm like, oh, is this a stupid question? But I'm like,
we always say no stupid questions.
No. And you know what? She taught me one mindset thing that I thought was the most fabulous thing. And I say it now every day. I'm a perfectionist and I always worry about putting stuff out there. I'm like, what's someone going to think? Is it right? Should I just put it away and maybe do it later? And she taught me sometimes good enough is good enough.
I love that. You know what? I taught Evie. That's why we say that all the time, that we say good enough is good enough, because that it's okay. And I used to be that way too. Like I would be like, it just has to be, everything has to be perfect before I get out in the world. It's like, no, because if you can get it out 80%, and then you make some sales, you're going to feel great about making it better or revising it or growing. I always say also, as a business owner, it's never all done. Like take that stress off your shoulders. It's never all done. But you're right. We have the most amazing coaches. All of my coaches started by going through our program and used our systems and our protocols to grow their own travel agency. So everyone that coaches in that one-on-one is what Marie's talking about. You get a one-on-one private coach assigned, which is valuable because when you do have a question that you feel like might be silly, we tell you there's no silly questions, like ask away. I always say, Marie can tell you, she's been on my mastermind calls. I'm like, I will answer the same question 100 times if it takes 100 times to help you. So we have a really, I feel like just loving approach and heart-centered approach to our training in the program. That's what we always try and what we go for. So Marie, thank you for sharing your amazing story today. I'm so excited about the launch of your new brand and your new company. And I cannot wait to see where you take your business in the next year. Keep us updated. And you're not going too far. You're just going over to the grad group. So we'll see you over there anyway in our post-support program. So thank you, Marie, for joining us today. Hang out in the green room. Talk to you in just a second.
Okay.
Bye, guys. Have a great day.
She's calling me, like the rainbow, She's calling me, like the rainbow.
Hey guys, Cyndi Williams here. If you like that last video, make sure you check out all of the other content on our channel. And if you want to follow along and travel with me around the world and see how I run my amazing travel brands and get some great tips on how to grow your own, make sure you check out that other content. I'm going to drop a couple videos here. Click those links. I'll see you next time. Bye guys.